Sure, I can do those first 3 slides quickly.
Okay, go for it.
All right, so I wanted to cover for you guys the R2 20 release. So we got 2 new products for the mid-market, and then we made some enhancements to the Advanced Solutions Expert and Corporate. But basically, we have brand new products for the mid-market. We have Essential Plus, which does replace the previous Essential offering, the previous Go offering. It's completely free, up to 8 cameras. Then we have Express Plus and Pro Plus for our paid products that we provide tech support on and that we recommend for our reseller partners to offer to their customers. And these new products are based on the same technology as the advanced solutions that we used to have, or that we still have, Expert and Corporate. So with these products, you get the rules engine. You're getting H.265 support, which is becoming popular with some of the camera manufacturers. And you're getting some of the enhancements to the recording server processes, like the ability to do the pre-buffer and RAM, so your disks aren't going to spin when there's no activity, and also the ability to do hardware acceleration on both motion detection as well as the client workstations, which we've had for some time. So why are we doing this? The reason is this is the future of the market, the kind of the business-ready segment. What we think of as the sub $200 camera price point. A lot of cameras now are $100 to $200, so we need a license that fits in with those opportunities, and sometimes they can be several hundred cameras. So that's why we're doing this. This is the future of the market. It's going to represent 65% of the business in the surveillance market from 2016 to 2020, according to IHS, who's a leading authority on the surveillance market. So Express Plus and Professional Plus, they provide an enhanced feature set to meet and exceed the requirements of the customers in this space, and it's a price point suited for the budgets in this segment. So here you'll see the current overview. This will help you guys understand. So yeah, Essential Plus is our free product. Up to 8 cameras, single server. But again, with this change, it does support Active Directory, and it does support unlimited users. So Essential, Express Plus, and Professional Plus all have unlimited user support. If you remember in the past, Essential, our Go product used to have a limit of 1. Then when we made Essential free, it carried the same limit of 5 simultaneous users, and that's what Express had as well. And it still has today a 5 concurrent user limit. But with the Plus products, there is no limit.
Why would someone choose Essential over Essential Plus if they're both free?
They can't. Essential Plus, standard Essential is no longer available.
I see. Got it.
And then why somebody would choose Express or Pro instead of Express Plus or Pro Plus is if they're an existing customer. If they like, those products are really simple. They're very easy to set up. So a lot of the wizards you guys know, the add hardware wizard, the configure user wizards, they're not the same in the Plus products. The Plus products have the management client. It's not as intuitive because there's more features. Some people see it as being more complex, but we do have we've added some features to make it simpler to install. One being the single server install option. You can have the management server service and the recording server service run on the same box, which is typical in projects of this size. They're typically single server installs, and that makes it just simpler to set up when in the past you had to go in and make some modifications for that to perform optimally. So we are going to continue to improve the ease of use, but Express and Pro are still the easiest products we have to use, but Express and Pro Plus just blow them away as far as functionality and features.
Got it.
So Express Plus has the 48 camera limit, Pro Plus does not. So why would you use Pro Plus and not Express when you're multi-site, when you need more than 48 cameras, and then some other features I'll get into later. One thing to note, guys, is that there is a different price point. Regular Express is $69 MSRP per camera. Express Plus is $75 per camera. But what you're getting with Express Plus over standard Express is unlimited users, full alarm management. So you guys probably remember there was no alarm manager tab in Express. You needed Pro for that. So with Express Plus, there is an alarm manager. You get the simple single server installation I mentioned, and again I talked about the industry's highest performing recording server. That pre-buffer and RAM feature, that hardware accelerated video motion detection are part of this product, as well as the rules engine, which makes it really simple to do different recording schedules and automate system tasks and surveillance events. And also messaging, right? You guys have been in that battle, I think, with standard Express and Pro, where let's say you want to set up an email alert or notification. You want certain alerts to go to user A, certain alerts to go to user B. You can't do that with Express and Pro. It's all or nothing. So with the rules engine, you're able to say, hey, when this event goes, I want John to know. When this event goes, I want Dave to know. And then here's the comparison chart. So you can see the features that you get with Express Plus over Express. So again, the user limit goes away. The alarm management increases. Instead of a single layer map, you can do a multiple layer map. And then you've got Active Directory. You've got metadata. I'll do a live software demo to show you guys why metadata matters. Where it's really going to matter to the business-ready customer is in the Smart Search. So if you're familiar with our Smart Search on Express and Pro, you know you draw the box from the playback tab, and then you click through event by event. Right. With Express Plus and Pro Plus, we have the metadata enhanced Smart Search where you draw a box, and then every event in that box floods down at the bottom of the screen as a thumbnail. So if we still have time, I'll show you guys that live demo. I'll actually show it on Standard Pro, and then I'll show you what it looks like on Pro Plus.
That was actually one of my questions that I was going to ask you at the end of the presentation, so I'm glad we're going to cover that.
I will show that. Seeing is believing there. And then I mentioned the hardware accelerated motion detection, which allows you to do more with less. Right now you can raise your resolutions, raise your frame rates, and not use as much CPU. If you have a qualified processor. That does require a QuickSync processor, which are pretty rare in many server class machines. So we went over this, Ray. Yeah. Just make sure you go to Intel's website, select the QuickSync processor if you want to leverage that technology. Okay, good. Right. The good news is we're currently exploring, you may have seen this at ISC West. We're working with NVIDIA, where you could take a server class machine, drop it in an NVIDIA card, and leverage the GPU on their cards. So that look for that in a future release. So we know that's a problem, and we're working on it to do more with less and leverage more GPU in our software.
What do you mean by dropping in an NVIDIA card? We had an actual conversation via email this past week about how it's not worthwhile to include a video card in the server unless they're planning on having.
It's not yet. It's not yet. I want to let you know. Oh. I want to let you know we're exploring it. So in a future release, it will matter. Like if you drop in an NVIDIA card into a recording server where you would have some enhancements. So look for that in a future release. Hopefully, no, we talked about that at IC, so that's okay to speak about. But yeah, it's not available yet. Okay. But another reason Care Plus is important, right? Make sure you guys are talking to your customers about Care Plus, keeping their Care Plus current, because Milestone's going to continue to innovate and release features that take advantage of the latest technology. You guys know that, though.
Yeah.
So Pro Plus, again, centralized management's a big deal here because now you're getting into multi-server projects, systems over 48 cameras that are getting more complex, more distributed. You have true centralized management with Pro Plus versus standard professional. You guys are aware in a multi-server setup, you can set up multiple servers on what we call a master slave so that people can see all their cameras from one smart client, but you have no centralized management. You have to remote in each box or physically log on to each box to set it up, add a new user account. You don't have any device groups. You don't have any bulk configuration beyond using the wizards to set a frame rate and a retention time. So you're getting all the features that we used to restrict in Expert and Corporate down into Pro Plus to be able to quickly configure multiple servers and many cameras. You're also getting edge storage. So edge storage is available with Pro Plus, not available with Express Plus, not available with Standard Express or Standard Professional. That's leveraging the SD cards either as a primary storage resource or in a lot of cases as a fail-safe. So where it's most popularly used is when you guys are using wireless cameras. Sometimes that connection can be unreliable, especially like I know at my home, I don't have the right router. My wireless camera that's above my front door is way too far away, so it drops its connection all the time, and then I lose that video. Once I install Pro Plus and turn on edge storage, and it's a VivoTech camera, so it'll be supported. Anytime that connection drops, the video will record to the SD card instead. And then when the connection's reestablished, it has this trickle. It'll pull it back into the server. So if I go to playback recordings a week later or whatever, I'll never know that the connection even dropped because the video will have been built back into the actual server's database.
Very cool.
So that's where it goes above and beyond what some of our competitors do with edge storage. It's really smart. It's very similar to how the server failover works when you're using Expert or Corporate. H.265 support, still pretty limited, but you'll see on our support hardware site, I believe we have VivoTech and Dahua now, and that list will continue to grow. We haven't seen some of the other camera manufacturers jump on the H.265 bandwagon yet. You know, they're really focused on their smart codecs, H.264 Plus, and in the iterations of it, you know, Access as Zipstream, etc. Those kind of smart H.264 codecs are actually really good at compressing the video further and not taking up as much resources, but there are companies that are showing the benefits of H.265, and we now have that built into our software.
Regarding the H.264 Plus, as long as the camera has it, it will work, or is it only with certain brands?
Correct.
It will work.
As far as that, as long as we have a driver for the camera, we will support any codec, is my understanding. I think our software still sees it as H.264. I don't think there's anything special we have to do on our driver, but I know, like all the big boys, you know, the H.264 Plus for both Dahua, Hikvision, Access as Zipstream, all our camera partners, we support their smart codecs. Right. I don't think we have to do anything special, but maybe we do. It goes above my head.
Yeah, I have.
No, you don't.
Okay, perfect. And then Pro Plus, you get Smart Client profiles too. So with standard Express and Pro, and with Express Plus, you can hit the Setup tab in the Smart Client. You can make panes disappear, and you can restrict in the server settings. You can restrict if somebody can view live or playback. But with Smart Client profiles, you can actually customize based on like a user group what they see when they initially log in, and then they do not have the ability to edit it. So if you want them to only have access to the live and playback tab, you don't want them to see the alarm manager because it'll confuse them. You don't want them to see the export button because you just don't want that to happen, or them to know that they're locked out of that feature. You can actually have a default profile assigned to that user. So when they log in, they only see the features and functions that you want them to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you don't want the Sequence Explorer Alarm Manager, you just want live and playback, you can set up a smart profile.
Yeah.
Or default profile.
Yeah. Yeah, like you could. Yeah, you might know the simplified mode in the Smart Client, where if you click that simplified mode, it makes all that other noise disappear. You can have their default profile only give them simple mode. So that's one of the advantages of the Smart Client profile, is controlling what your more basic operators should see.
Right.
And then bookmarking. Again, this used to be a feature that we only had in Expert and Corporate. Easily flag an incident, be able to see it on the playback tab that you've dropped a bookmark there, easily share, say, hey, you know, if one of your counterparts wants to go review it, you want to see it later, you can just flag the video. It makes it searchable, so you can search any kind of comments or titles that are given to bookmarks. I'm sure you guys have been asked for that feature in a pro-level product before, too. Should I demo that too, Ray, with the bookmarking?
Yeah, might as well.
Might as well, okay. Oh, and then notice the price. It's only $20 more per camera. So if you look at competitive comparisons, right, to our key competitors in this market, they're typically not offering this many features, and when they are, they're charging a lot more. So just keep in mind, this is a very competitive price for the amount of features that we're bringing to the table. So I really think it should be a big game changer in the mid-market for Milestone and for our partners. So again, top 5 features of Pro Plus: centralized management, edge storage, bookmarks. Those are the 3 that you that really start to shine. Again, Express Plus technically has the centralized management feature, but it's a single server offering, so you're not really realizing the true benefits of it. But Express Plus does not have edge storage and bookmarks. How do they compare? So here you can see the old Pro Plus versus Pro Plus. So I've never seen anybody put more than 320 cameras on a server, so I don't really see that as being a true restriction. Yeah. But the biggest benefits you can see is going to be the metadata, the centralized management, H.265 edge storage, the server enhancements, smart client profiles, and the rules engine. Bookmarking should be on here. That's why I think I added it on my other slide. So this software is very different. Ray, I think you've been through the training, so you understand that. How you add cameras, how you assign rights is completely different than, not completely different, but radically different than in the regular Express and Pro. So we have a brand new course in the e-learning portal called Getting Started with the XProtect VMS, and then also how to navigate the management client. So those are the two courses from an installation and administration perspective you should take in order to get a better understanding on how to spin these systems up and how to apply settings to them. So those two courses are there, and there's also a course that was just announced before or after I created this slide on navigating the R2 release. So really this presentation that I'm providing to you, it covers that in an e-learning format. So be sure to check that out to get training on the new release.
Okay.
You guys have exposure to Learning Portal. You've been in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then some new things that were added to Expert. So these features were available in corporate, but they are only available in corporate. So as part of the R2 release, we've rolled them down into our less expensive product. So that's the video database encryption. So you've got the ability to actually encrypt the video as it hits the disk, as it drops into the database. You know, so if you ever do have a cybersecurity threat, that video is really locked down and protected. And then you have multi-stage storage with data grooming. So what that allows you to do is actually archive from an archive. So with Pro Plus, you can record to your initial location, and you have no restriction, by the way, guys. You know, with the standard Express and Pro, you've got that live database that you can record to for up to 24 hours, and then we force an archive. With Pro Plus, that doesn't happen. You can keep the video in that first bucket for as long as you want, and then you can push it to a second bucket, but that's it. With Expert, you can actually create a third, fourth, and fifth bucket. You can slowly move the video from one storage array to another, move it to cheaper, less expensive media over time, and then you also have the video grooming feature where you can lower the frame rate. But keep in mind, using H.264, you can only drop the frame rate from, say, whatever your recording frame rate is, to 1 frame a second because of how that technology works. If you were doing motion JPEG, which nobody does, you could go from 20 to 10 to 5 to 3. But just keep in mind when you're selling that feature, let people know you can drop the frame rate to 1 frame a second for long-term storage.
And that feature, grooming, is only available on Expert or higher, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So top 5 features of Expert, right? Why would you sell Expert and not Pro Plus? And that's if you need failover. So again, failover is restricted to Expert and corporate. And it's like edge storage, except that it's a full server failover. So basically the management server, the brain that exists in these advanced, in this Plus series products, and then Expert and corporate, you know, knows everything that's going on. So if you set up failover, if one of your servers goes down, the management server sees that. It says, okay, I need to tell everything that server was doing needs to be taken over by this backup server, your failover server. And it can do this very quickly. So you have minimal downtime. And if you have a mission critical customer where video not recording is unacceptable or costs their business a lot of money, you can set up failover. It'll automatically take over recording if any servers go down. And then as soon as you're able to restore the failed server, it does everything automatically for you. It pulls the video off the failover server, it rolls it back to the database of the server that went down, and then the failover server goes back into failover mode. So it's fully automated, it's all taken care of by our software with no human intervention.
What's the difference of between the smart map and the map that's offered in Pro Plus?
Yeah, so the professional series only supports mapping using static images and drawings. Expert supports enhanced graphical mapping. It gives geographically dispersed organizations, you know, really ultimate situational awareness, because smart maps provide that seamless geo-navigation, you know, via map services like Bing and Google and OpenStreetMaps. It also allows you to import GIS maps and CAD drawings, and you've got drill down possibilities to your old classic maps. So if you think about a really distributed organization that has Milestone servers across the nation, they could actually wheel out, you know, to a full internet map, see where their locations are, and drill down. So it's really just a mapping feature on steroids, leveraging live internet GIS maps. Cool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So these dates, I meant to do this for you guys sooner, but we sent you an email on May 9th, and then the software came out June 8th. So happy hunting now. I hope you guys like it. Oh, and then by the way, guys, do you have a demo system set up, Ray?